comedy is subjective, but if there's one unifying, immutable truth to it, it's this. Farts are funny.
Oh, somebody stepping a duck?
Sure, these days farts are featured in media as often as they occur in real life, which, according to science, is about 15 times a day. But it took some daring trailblazers to break down the walls of standards and practices through Breaking Wind. It's commonly said that Mel Brooks was the first filmmaker to feature cinematic farts in his 1974 classic Blazing Saddles. But that's just not the case, and not by a long shot. Indeed, this is the story of Yasujirō Ozu and the first fart in cinema history. Under restrictions of the Motion Picture Production Code of 1930, commonly known as the Hays Code, farting on film was effectively banned in American cinema until the 1970s, a fact made a lot less surprising when one considers that it took until the early 60s, by way of Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho, for American audiences to first witness a toilet on film. But while the West was confined by such prudish legislation, in the East, a whole year before Hitchcock was shocking moviegoers with a flushing toilet, Japanese director Yasujirō Ozu was weaving farts into the thematic fabric of his work. In his movie Good Morning, Ozu's lighthearted coming-of-age comedy of 1959 set in suburban Tokyo, passing wind occupies a central motif in the film's exploration of language. In trying to emulate the talents of one of their fathers, the attempts to fart on cue by the young boys transcends the benign banter of time between childhood and adulthood.
People remember Ohio as the fart film, it's true. The way I would see it is that this becomes the kids' version of communication. It's a social interaction, like saying good morning, but it also shows a kind of prowess, because every time one of them successfully farts, part of the ritual is to swing their arms victoriously. And when the boy can't do it, he can't do it. So the thing is that there's a way in which human communication is downgraded by being compared to farting. The farts in the movie are not, I would say, completely real farts. They're tuned farts. They're kind of tone farts. They have different registers. Adults fart differently from kids, and different kids fart differently. There's a little suite of different sounds that farts make in the movie, and that's clearly for fun. I mean, that's clearly part of the artifice of the movie.
It's the universal simplicity of the boy's flatulence that speaks volumes for Ozu's endearing portrait of youthful innocence, highlighting the naive desire to grow up all too quickly. 60 years on, Good Morning continues to remind us that, while a lazy, poorly executed fart can render a bad film irredeemable, a well-timed toot, on the other hand, has the power to elevate a movie to charming new heights.
The scene of Mr. Kozo and his wife thinking she's being called every time he farts is really, I think, the scene Ozu needed to cement this parallel between spoken language and farting. That there's the case where she's actually mistaking his farts for speech. The other thing that's interesting about this comparison of farting with ordinary casual conversation is that even boys can use meaningless phrases.
Of course, madam. I love you.
When I think of the youngest boy saying, I love you, under all circumstances, it just seems to be like the appropriate thing he'll say. He's really as much a victim of the emptiness of language as anybody, because he doesn't know what that means, really. He says it as hello, goodbye, I like you, whatever.
I love you.
Though not the first filmmaker to feature farts in film, Mel Brooks certainly changed the game. In his searing Western satire, 1974's Blazing Saddles, Brooks puts farts firmly in their place as a tool used for solely comedic purposes. In the movie's most iconic scene, a group of cowboys rooting and tooting around a campfire, Brooks' use of flatulence carries no such whiffs of allegory or subtext. It's a simple, brash reminder that farts are funny.
How about some more beans, Mr. Taggart? I'd say you've had enough.
In doing so, he opened the doors for countless classic scenes to come. Rodney Dangerfield was famously nervous on the set of 1980's Caddyshack, even having to be reassured that when the director yelled action, that's when he should begin delivering his lines. Perhaps a little bit of fart humor went a long way in calming the comedian down.
Oh, somebody stepping a duck.
Over time, farting in film even made its way into more dramatic fare, albeit thanks to some well-timed improv. There's this humorous scene in Rain Man, in which Dustin Hoffman took the opportunity to hotbox Tom Cruise in a phone booth.
Yeah, Charlie Babbitt, I'll hold.
Fart.
Did you fart, Ray?
Fart.
Did you fucking fart?
Fart.
Oh, man. Look at this. How can you stand that?
I don't mind it.
And another, in Paul Thomas Anderson's The Master, in which Joaquin Phoenix decided to break the tension with Philip Seymour Hoffman by breaking a little wind.
Are you unpredictable? Silly animal.
I couldn't help it.
Silly animal.
Sorry.
So just as Ozu proved, farting has functions that extend far beyond simple humor. By cropping up in increasingly peculiar places, flatulence in film has the power to transcend vital, complex themes with both beautiful simplicity and an air of gentle mischief. Passing wind can be poignant, meaningful, heartbreaking, and, as crude as it might sound, is about as universal as it gets. After being silenced for so long, when the fart gag hits like a breath of not-so-fresh air, it should be something to bask in, something to cherish, and something to celebrate. Or just something to laugh at, because farts are funny.
I'm sorry, Sean.
Oh! Oh my god, that's rotten!
I'll stop doing them when you stop laughing.
I am not laughing.
Great.
Was that a fart?
I don't know.
I can taste it.
Did you just soil yourself?
Maybe. It did sound a little wet, didn't it? Right at the end. Ooh. Let's have a smell, all right? Ooh, wafting, wafting. Oh, everyone likes their own brand, don't they? This is magic.
Yeah, you know I can go all night.
Keep it going. Fuck, I hope you fart till your asshole falls out. Oh, baby, too.
Thanks for watching. If you liked the video and want to see more of our Only in Hollywood series, please like and subscribe. Until next time, we'll see you at the movies.